Hello?
Hi, it's Hickey.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Thank you so much for taking time for me.
All right, you got to talk loud because I'm deaf and I'm in a van with a bunch of assholes. So shut up.
I said, thank you so much for taking time for us.
Oh, thank you, Johnny Key. I mean, I hate to tell you close your window, but whatever. All right.
How's the tour going?
It's going all right. We stood at a crack hotel last night.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
I ate some bad ramen noodles and I got a little bit of diarrhea right now, but now we're traveling from Ohio to Indiana. So it's only like a 3-hour drive, yeah.
How was it like having Johnny back last night?
Oh, it was great. Last night was his first night back.
Yeah.
And considering that we haven't even rehearsed together. How long has it been since we even played together? Yeah, like a year. Like a year? Dude, it's been forever. And then but we fucking nailed it, you know what I mean? There's a couple of, loose areas and loose spots, but it really doesn't matter because nobody knows these fucking songs, so. Yeah.
You said you had bad ramen noodles. I had something. My stomach was fucked up for so long, like 3 weeks. To me, that's down. And all I can eat was ramen noodles. Like, what flavor were they to make them all fucked up?
It wasn't the ramen noodles. It was the water from the hotel that I used to put in.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm in friggin' Cleveland, so, I guess the water is too good.
Oh, my God.
I ain't used to it.
Of course.
And Joe, my guitar player, was like, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, dude, I gotta eat something before I go to sleep, because, it's very, my gig, singing-wise, is very challenging, so I always need to eat before I go to sleep and take a couple of vitamin C's,
Yeah, yeah.
So I just went through it.
That's my routine, too.
So I just, had a mess in the Wendy's bathroom. Let me just say that.
Oh, man. I had I seriously was shitting myself for 3 weeks. I had an infection inside of my stomach.
Yeah, that's a bacterial fucking infection that you get in your intestines. Sometimes you can't get rid of that forever, We're going to start talking about music anytime soon. But really, indirectly, we are talking about music. It's a different kind of music.
Right. All right. I want to start with the song "Insomnia," your single that came out.
Yeah.
My first reaction to that is, this is what's missing in music, and not just music, rock or metal, in music. Period.
I agree. Thank you.
And I'm not trying to just put you guys over because we're talking right now, but man, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, it's beautiful and dark,
Yes.
And what I found really enjoyed, when you tell me that, man, it makes me feel so good. Because what I was trying to accomplish from the conception of the song was to turn my anxiety and sleeplessness into something positive, or whatever, and just to express it, put it down. And people get enjoyment out of it. So I've turned something that was negative into something positive, which is really the ultimate.
And
the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal when I sit down and I'm trying to get something out of myself, It's like, exercising demons.
It's the type of music that, I'm from California, so I would, go for a ride on the Pacific Coast Highway on the one and just be quiet and just listen to that song. Or it's a song that you can go inside your bedroom and spark up, some marijuana. And I don't remember the last time I heard a song that said, I want to smoke weed to the song. You know what I mean?
That's great. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's funny, but a lot of fans that, we're like, oh, just spark up and listen to this stuff. I don't smoke pot. I don't. I can't. It makes me paranoid. So, I drink beer. That's all I do now.
Cool. You're missing some great stuff, man. I fucking love pot. It's my favorite thing in the world.
No, that's
Besides my kids.
to each his own. And you know what? I mean, if alcohol is legal, I mean, it's ridiculous for pot not to be illegal because, you know, I'm sure that 90% of the murders in the world are done under the influence of alcohol and not marijuana.
Right.
And car wrecks.
You just want to smoke some weed and listen to an insomnia.
Excuse me?
You just want to smoke some weed and listen to insomnia when you smoke.
You're right. Yeah. No, out, you know.
How has your approach to creating music changed? You know, from Typo Negative to Silvertune and everything in between.
There's no set formula. You know what I mean? Like with Insomnia was our classic example of me trying to capture a mood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shit that bothers me. You know, my own anxiety, and trying to replicate it sonically. You know, but sometimes it just comes from the riff that just happens, or that's just in my head. You know, and sometimes it never comes from lyrics. That's the only thing that it never starts with for me.
So it's
either a concept, it's a mood, or sometimes I'll just be like screwing around with different sounds, guitar sounds, or now with Juice added in the band, sometimes piano or keyboards. And it just sparks an idea, you know, and it just grows from there. So there's no set pattern. I wish there was, because then I'd know where to start. And, you know, go from point A to B, C, say, oh, I'm done with the song. It's never like that. And then a lot of times, a piece of music will come, and I have no idea where the hell to put it. And I just got to write forward during the writing cycle, and then sooner or later, it's the other puzzle pieces around it are built just for it, and it just snaps right in. You know, so some of it is done in segments and then arranged. So there's no set formula. It gives me a lot of anxiety. But usually what I do to deal with that is I just crack open a couple of beers and I sit down quietly. I got a very small room I work in. And that stuff, for me, is either comes out early in the morning, and I just wake up. That only lasts like a half hour after my first cup of coffee.
No,
or in the middle of the night, like 2, 3 a.m., you know. 5 a.m. after struggling with something will just come out, you know.
You know, that's interesting that you said that, because most of I do radio, and so, you know, shock jock type radio comedy, bits, you know, shit like that. But most of my ideas either comes in the first 30 minutes of me waking up, or the last few hours before I go to bed.
Yeah. I got a theory about that. My theory about it is the last few hours before you go to bed, you just don't give a shit anymore. You're kind of like, and to me, it releases your inhibitions. You know what I mean? It takes a lot out of the way. And that's usually why I think at the end of the night, or in the middle of the night, when nobody's awake in the world, and I'm exhausted, some stuff comes out. And then the other reason why in the morning there's a lot of good ideas is because basically you've rebooted your brain and it's fresh, you know. It's open wide. You know, you forgot everything else you were working on the night before. If you try to remember that shit, it interferes. I mean, that's what I think, anyway.
No, that's a great idea and concept. And it makes sense. 100% makes sense.
Yeah. To me, you know. But like I said, then sometimes an idea will come in the middle of the afternoon, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll take an approach where, you know, I'll listen to an old John Lennon song or a Beatles song, whatever, and then, you know, listen to their approach on how they change modes and stuff like that, or start in a certain mode that from a Paul McCartney song, or, you know, Black Sabbath song is always a riff.
Yeah.
But that will spur something on, or even try to figure it out on piano or something, and then it'll completely change, you know. Obviously, because I'm not a piano player.
You briefly mentioned you have anxiety. Where does that anxiety stem from, and how does it help or hurt you?
Well, you know, I got a theory about that too. The anxiety is, I think, a lot of it's genetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think it's because, you know, I grew up with a tough Italian mother. It screamed at me all the time, you know.
Yeah.
I used to think it was, she made me, she gave me anxiety. But then I had kids, and let me tell you something. My oldest is 21, Megan. She got hit like once in her whole life. I mean, she got yelled at, here and there.
Yeah.
But my little one is like very introverted. She's very easy. I don't think she's ever even really been yelled at. And she's got friggin' anxiety. Like, now she's she's like 5 years old. She get panic attacks when she was like 7. It's genetic. And then, of course, I think environmental stuff makes it way worse. If you grow up with my mother screaming in your face all the time.
It's my grandmother. My grandmother's from Sicily, and she.
Oh yeah, your grandmother's from Sicily. Right.
And we were born in New York. Or my dad was born in New York.
Tough lady, right?
Yeah. Oh man, she would fuck me up.
I know, man.
Grab my ear and claw my face.
I feel it. Yeah. We were playing Italy once. I don't know where the hell we were playing. Milan, one of those things. It was little Italian chicks in front of us. We were opening up for Lacuna Coil, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I remember those guys.
No, I'm talking about with Seventh Ward this was. Henry was with me on stage. I don't know who we were opening up for. It had to be Monster Magnet, right? And I looked at those little Italian chicks, and I'm like, man, this really makes me miss home, man. I had a really, really short Italian mother used to smack me in the face all the time. Hey, will one of you chicks please come up on stage and smack me in the face? Makes me feel at home. And there was this language barrier, and they all just looked at me like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. When was the last time, and by what, to inspire you?
Excuse me?
When was the last time that you were inspired, and by what?
And when was the last time I was inspired by anything?
Mm-hmm.
I'm inspired all the time. I find inspiration every day, man. I find inspiration from my friends. I'm out with my friends right now. I listen to my oldest daughter sing. She's got this powerful voice. And then my younger one plays 3 instruments, and she's got a pretty voice. Just sit there with a ukulele and sing. They all inspire me,
Yeah.
And then if I can't find inspiration in people surrounding me at the moment, all I gotta do is listen to my heroes, Like throwing Floyd or the Beatles or Sabbath or anything great, Johnny Cash. The list goes on. So,
have you been interested in any newer music, or are you mostly listen to the classics?
I'm not so much exposed or listen to new metal stuff too much. But I'm forced. It's being forced in my ears. Like my bass player has a really horrible taste in metal. So from the time we left Brooklyn, it's been like a bad European metal festival in his van. So I don't know. I don't really listen to too much of that stuff. But my daughters inspire me with music they listen to. My youngest turned me on to 21 Pilots. And I know it might sound weird, but I think the kids are great songwriters.
They're good songwriters, for sure.
My daughter turned me on to this band called Daughter. You should look it up and listen to it. And I'm not saying they're typo inspired, but it's the same kind of, it's dreary and beautiful and so friggin' dark. I mean, don't listen to it if you got problems in your life. But it's really beautiful. I mean, she turned me on to this band, and it's this British girl that just, learned how to play guitar and started in cafes and stuff, and now the band's blown up. And I even took her to see a show in New York.
Sure.
Really good
stuff. I definitely remember that name. It's probably comes
Daughter. It's called Daughter. Look it up.
All right. I'll
yeah, if you want to just hang out, mellow out, and it takes you away to a dark place, definitely.
What does the future look like for Silverton?
The future for this band, it's anyone can guess at this point. It's like any other band. It's like any other venture. You put the shit out there and and see if it works, man. See if people come back on it. We seem to be building a fan base right now. And right now we're trying to finish mixing the record, Johnny Kelly. Johnny's got to fucking get his drums. The drums are down. And he's not crazy about the drum mix, and we can't move forward until he's crazy about, until he accepts the way the drums sound. So, still have 50 minutes of music to mix. I mean, a lot of it's close, some of it's far off. So you need at least a month to do that, and then we're gonna release a record. You know, either we're gonna get a distro deal, or we'll sign with somebody, or we'll do it ourselves. Either way, it's gonna be out there.
Dude, I'm a fan just off of Insomnia.
Yeah.
It really to me is reminiscent of it reminds me of the time when I was, you know, listening to Type O Negative. Like,
yeah.
I remember me and my buddies would go like into haunted houses, abandoned insane asylums, and that's what we'd be listening to, you know.
Oh yeah. That's what it should be. It's a trip into that head, you know.
Yeah, and the way you guys create music, thank you. You know, you're special. There's something super special about you guys, and
thanks.
I'm going to support you guys. I'm going to put you guys shit on the radio. Is there any? I guess my last question is: there any dates that we should keep in mind for the future?
Is there any what?
Any dates that we should keep in mind?
Dates?
Dates. Not your tour dates, but like music release dates or.
We don't have a release date for the record yet, but
no.
Expect it like after the first of the year.
Okay, and I'll reach out to you guys' representation, and I will give you some love in the magazine for that.
Thank you so much, dude.
No problem, man. Thank you for your art. I mean, that shit, it's impactful to me.
Thank you for listening.
I appreciate that.
All right,
cool. One more quick question. Are you a Yankee fan or a Mets fan?
Am I what?
Are you a Yankee fan or a Mets fan?
Oh, I don't give a shit about baseball.
But you know, do you watch football?
Nope.
No?
The only sports I like is UFC.
Yeah, I love UFC.
I like the Olympics. I like the Winter Olympics.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, dude.
And good luck. I'm rooting for you.
I'm going to need it. Thanks.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good one.